Welcome back. You're watching Investors Guide on ET now. Thanks for staying with us. Dhirendra is still with us as well, and we're talking about the HSBC India Opportunities Fund. But before I ask Dhirendra if this is the fund we should be investing in, Aman is here to give us a quick introduction for those of us who are not familiar with this fund. Aman.
Our fund in focus today is the HSBC India Opportunities Fund, an open-ended flexi-cap equity scheme. The fund has a reasonable track record in delivering steady returns and the ability to contain downsides better than its peers during market falls. During the market boom, HSBC Opportunities Fund had limited exposure to the momentum sectors of 2007, such as construction, finance, and capital goods, which may explain why it could not rank among the top-performing funds. It's given its investors an annualized return of 19% since its launch in February 2004. The fund's sector allocation is heavy on finance, energy, and automobiles. Let's bring in some numbers to get a better outlook on its performance over the years. If you invested 1,000 rupees in this fund, you would have 3,531 rupees today. But is this fund worth pick? Can you expect consistent returns from this mutual fund? These are some of the questions that you need to know before you take a call. Our mutual fund expert is right here to give you an insight.
Thanks, Aman. But the returns of the HSBC India Opportunities Fund have not been very impressive. Now, we know the risk grade is low, but does it justify putting my money into this fund at all, or should I just pick other funds in the market?
No, I think you have better funds, better alternatives, and this shouldn't be on your radar at all. Particularly, we have here is a fund which has gone wrong it has taken calls and has gone wrong twice. With its cash calls after 2008, and in 2008 it was on a free fall like most other funds, and it was very much in line with reasonably above average fund. And after that, I think its call on the market and its focus, the emphasis in the portfolio has just not played out. Today, this fund looks very impressive with its conservative stance and the kind of gearing with reasonably a very unusual portfolio which looks like having the potential. But twice it has gone wrong in the past 3 years. Substantial underperformance to its own benchmark, to the broader benchmark too, relative to other funds in the same category. So I would say there's nothing going on in this fund which inspires one to invest.
If I need to put your rating together for the HSBC India Opportunities Fund, what's your star rating and what's your final verdict?
Ordinary investors should not invest 2 stars.
2 stars there for the HSBC India Opportunities Fund. Remember, Dhirendra said if you're a regular ordinary investor, you don't want to do too much homework into the fund management, then stay away from this particular fund because it takes very specific bets. You should get in if that's something that you understand and appreciate, and if that's a risk that you particularly want to take. All right, Dhirendra, we have a quick question that's come in from Padmanabhan. He tells us he's working with LIC right now. He'll retire next year, and he'd like to earn a monthly income of 15,000 rupees a month from his pension. He doesn't have any savings, although he owns his own home. And he tells us he can save about 2,000 to 3,000 rupees per month starting now. He wants to know where he can invest that money for the next 5 years now. He hasn't told us what his pension is going to be from the company that he's working for, because that's obviously something that will come in once he retires. But 5 years, 2,000 to 3,000 rupees, what would you recommend he does with this money?
What I could decode about him, I would like to suggest a very simple plan. I would say he should choose one balanced fund and keep investing that money and try and increase his amount of investment over the next 5 years. And I can't say that, even if it's going to be 5,000 rupees a month, next 5 years, which will be 60,000 rupees in a year, and next 5 years it will be a 3 lakh rupees investment. I don't think it is going to be, it's going to accumulate to any point where it will start generating 15,000 rupees pension for him. But nevertheless, I would suggest that he choose a balanced fund, a HDFC balanced fund, HDFC Prudence, or a DFC BlackRock balanced fund. Invest his money in only one of them for sake of manageability. Keep doing it regularly. Increase his monthly investment whenever possible, and take a stock after 5 years.
All right, one balanced fund, that's the advice going out to you. Remember, that will keep it simple and you'll be able to track it. And, of course, after 5 years, take a stock to see where it's gone, and then you'll know what you can do with that money and how you can generate that income from it. If you have any doubts, of course, you remember you can write back to us with those investments. Alright, moving on, we know that a hot cup of tea and the monsoon normally go hand in hand, but the rains and bad roads also share a committed relationship, especially if you live in Mumbai, you know what I'm talking about. Now that makes your car prone to accidents, to dents, your bumper breaking, lots of scratches. There is a way to take care of all of that. There are insurance policies that cover those small damages as well. Take a look at how you can get one of these policies and how you can make those claims. It happens to the best of us. Combine heavy rains, bad roads, traffic and poor visibility, and you have a damaged bumper or a broken headlight. Now while you can claim auto insurance for the damage to the body of your car, repairs for plastic and rubber parts, battery or your tire is normally not covered, which is why you need a zero depreciation rider on your car insurance.
In this case, once you pay a premium upfront, you are able to replace all of these things, along with the accidental vehicle, and continue with that entire, and with not too much of financial burden on you.
A zero depreciation rider on your auto policy will cover the repair costs of plastic, rubber, and wooden parts, headlights, battery, fiber, tires, and tubes. And here's a look at the costs on an average. For a compact vehicle of 4 lakh rupees or lower, at 0.5% of the total declared value, the rider would cost less than 2,000 rupees a year. For a mid-sized vehicle priced between 4 to 8 lakh rupees, at 0.3% of the value, it would cost about 2,400 rupees a year. For SUVs or multi-purpose vehicles costing about 10 lakh rupees, it would cost about 2,500 rupees a year. And finally, for those high-end cars costing 25 lakh rupees or more, it would cost you roughly about 6,000 rupees a year.
Vehicles less than 6 months old do not have any depreciation. Vehicles which are above 6 months to 1 year attract depreciation of 5%. The vehicle becoming older and older, the higher depreciation component has to be borne by the customer.
Now make sure you buy a policy with a cashless claim facility.
When you meet with an accident and you need to get your car fixed, you need to bring it to a garage, which is a part of your insurer's network. Now, the insurance surveyor will draw an estimate of the damage for your car, and with his nod, your car will be fixed without you having to spend a single penny.
The finally, there's one catch though. The rider is only offered for cars that are less than 5 years old. So if you're buying a zero depreciation policy, here's a list of general insurance companies that offer the rider. Remember, most zero dep or zero depreciation policies allow you to claim only twice a year. So make up your mind carefully when you decide to make that claim, and you can write back to us if you have any questions about your car insurance. We're going to slip it to a quick break. Virendra Kumar, thank you so much for joining us on the show and answering our questions. On the other side, we're answering questions on tax with Subhash Lakotia still joining us.